Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Slypatch Podcast. I'm Digital Chimera. You can call me Spencer.
And I'm the captain. You can call me Tyler.
And it's time to ready up.
We did it.
We did it. Back to the good old school.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We know we're always back here every week to give you more fun content, and it's always good to be back every week to do so. And you guys looking kind of fine today. Did you do some more with your hair? I don't know if you did, but like it looks good today. You doing good. You doing good.
Talking to you, Noah.
So today, Tyler, we're talking about conventions and all the different conventions we've been to, all the different kinds of conventions there are, and just about the topic and how fun they can be.
Yeah, we're gonna give you, our experience with them, and even ones that we maybe haven't gone to and we want to, that type of thing. But
plenty of those for me.
Yeah, I mean we've talked about in recent episodes that Midwest Gaming Classic, which is coming up at the end of the month here. So we thought we'd give our take on conventions.
Yeah, and not just the Midwest Gaming Classic, but there's tons of others that happen here in Milwaukee and plenty that happen all around America and all over the world.
Absolutely.
So, and I always want to go to more, but before we get into today's meat and potatoes, talking about our campaign, it's time for the warm-up. Mm-hmm. Tyler, what's good?
Man. So, I mean, again, I feel like a broken record because I'm always talking about, things that have to do with work. But,
I mean, work's exciting. That's a good thing every week.
That's pretty much my life. We're super excited for Streets of New Capenna pre-release.
Yeah, it's going to be epic.
It is our first, sanctioned pre-release with Slypatch Gaming. We're super stoked. We're going to have our regular commander, as we talked about, on Friday at 6:30. But then 8 o'clock is going to be our pre-release. We'll start registration for it around 7:30. I mean, people can pre-register when they're signing up for Commander too. Mm-hmm. We are limited. We are only getting 45 kits. So that's gonna be 9 of each of the. They're not called guilds in this. I don't remember what they're called.
It escapes my mind too.
I can't remember what they're called, but the color combinations.
Yep.
So the shards, technically they're shards. That's what they were in Alara. So we are limited. So it's a first come first served basis. If you're one of those people who's like, I really want to play Bant or I really want to play Esper, sign up first, because the first 9 of those kits that go, we won't have those kits anymore. We'll only have the other kits for the other color combinations. So that's going to be 8 o'clock on Friday, and then we have 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, as well as possibly, if we have enough product left, 6 o'clock Saturday as well. And then if there's product left over, then we'll hopefully be able to do our two-headed giant on Sunday. So but we're super excited for that. Set's looking great.
They fun.
They had the full spoiler come out. So on that note, Spencer and I will be gathering up a not pre-release, but a
set review.
Set review. Thank you.
It's going to be mostly centered around Commander staples, or not staples, but cards that we're excited to see in Commander pods. And
for sure.
I think something we're going to try to do again is we're going to try to put a bounty on 2 of our favorite commanders.
We will try to find some new commanders or new legendary creatures that are coming out and try to put a bounty on that, and see if people can build a deck with those people, and make a free pack. Win yourself a free pack by making a deck that's cool around it.
Yep.
So yeah, that's my warm up for the week. What about you, Spence?
Well, I am happy to report that I have kicked the little cycle of depression that I had going on for a little bit there, and I am I'm doing a lot to get back into trying to lose weight, and I've got a lot of good news around it. I'm starting to count calories again. My ultimate goal is to get down to 2,000 a day, but right now I'm at 2,500 a day, and I'm slowly working myself down over time,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been successful at making that goal so far.
That's awesome.
And then I'm also working up to an exercise goal of 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups every day.
Whoo, he trying to be like Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I mean
Which,
that man's in like his 50s, 60s now, and he's still like, so I mean.
Yeah, and in fact, the the story behind why I picked those numbers is actually because of something Pete Davidson said to Alec Baldwin. So when they first met, they were shooting together, and Pete Davidson's like kind of lean, he's kind of fit, and but that's just because he's young. He doesn't like do anything. He doesn't work out.
Right.
But Alec Baldwin went up to him after the shoot and was like, "Yo, what's your secret?" And Pete and he was like. He didn't want to be mean and just say, like, yeah, I just have a metabolism because I'm fucking 22.
Right.
So he said, I do 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups every day. And Alec Baldwin was like, really? That's it? And he's like, yeah. And Alec Baldwin was like, okay, yeah, I can do that. And then he went and started doing it, and then he lost like 100 pounds. And Pete Davidson does not do that.
Well, I mean,
but to this day, Alec Baldwin attributes all of that weight loss to Pete Davidson because of that.
Did he pay him a personal trainer fee? Like,
that would have been funny.
Hey, if I was Pete, I'd be like, hey, man.
That would be funny, but I saw that and I like that headspace of like I can do that, and then he just went and did it and lost a bunch of weight, and I'm like, I can't do it right now, but I could get there. I could do that eventually, right?
Oh, absolutely. And it's about pacing yourself, man, and
it is about
understanding,
pacing yourself.
you not hurting yourself trying to do too many at once and things like that. I mean, I'm a lot heavier than I used to be, but I was an athlete my entire life. Growing up, played sports my entire life, and I mean, 100 sit-ups a day was nothing back when. I mean, that was honestly like my warm up at the gym was 100 sit-ups.
I've never been able to do 100 sit-ups or 100 push-ups in a day, but I've also never really tried. And so far,
I could probably sit down and do like 35 right now.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Right.
But that's just because like I mean I still stay pretty active. I play disc golf still, and walk around playing golf and things like that. So I mean I'm not in nearly, like I said, the shape I used to be. But yeah, the important thing too though with like you're counting calories, man, is like it's the good calories versus the bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you got to be careful with like counting calories is not a bad thing in the least, but like if 90% of your calories are like Snickers bars and things like that, sugar, it's like it's not that great. But if you're getting a good protein, good amount of protein in there, good amount of fiber, that kind of thing, help you flow through. So
but yeah, and this week I pushed myself a little.
We should do an episode on that.
Yeah, we should.
Like exercise and stuff. We'll do that.
Yeah, we'll do it at some point.
Let us know in the comments.
We'll have a gym day and we'll go vlog in a gym maybe. But I mean, so like this week, I was doing. I think I was going a little too hard for it to be like sustainable every day, but I was able to do 80 sit-ups, 60 push-ups.
So that's
I was doing 20 sets sit-ups, or 20 rep sets of sit-ups, and then 10 reps of push-ups. But I was making a couple modifications because I can't do just a regular push-up. So I was doing it at an incline on my countertop in my kitchen.
Yeah.
But, I was still getting that core workout that you're looking for, which was really nice. And, it's enough to make me feel like I feel like I can do stuff now, which is really great. Like the other night I was binge watching a show, and normally when you sit down and lay down and watch something, like watch TV for 4 hours, I get up and I'm just like creaking and I feel like shit. I got up. It was like midnight. I was like super tired too. I felt like I could take on the world. I didn't feel like that affected me at all.
That's good.
So that's my warm up. I'm making progress, making good steps, and I'm meeting my daily goals.
Yeah, it's amazing how just a little bit of exercise, each day, can make a huge difference. It's like they say, like the first step is the hardest. Yeah. It's taking that step, it's taking that leap. We've talked about it before with other things, in the show. It's like, the greatest fear that human beings have is the fear of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
And so, people are like, they get through their daily routines. They're used to doing this. They're used to not doing anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, if you just start with 10 push-ups a day,
Mm-hmm.
and then, just work yourself up, and then you're talking about like, starting with the incline, and then that's great. Like if you can do 60, on an incline, that's great. And you get yourself to the point where you can start doing, just 10 at a time on a, lateral level, like
Mm-hmm.
that'd be awesome, man. Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, just keep pushing, man. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to move forward with it, and I'm excited to shed some weight.
Yeah, full show.
And
then that way you can eat some
meat and potatoes. Hey, look at that! Nice segue. Nice segue.
Like
that concludes our warm up, and we are talking about the meat and potatoes so that I can fulfill myself once a week here.
Yeah,
with you. And we were talking all about conventions and...
Calorie-free, too.
Calorie-free conventions?
No, it's calorie-free meat and potatoes.
I see.
You can have all you want.
I can have as much of this as I want. I always want more, though. I'm never satisfied.
Right. Sounds like my wife. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, I pulled a Ryan moment there.
You love to see it. You love to see it. Yeah, and so with conventions, I haven't really talked to you much about conventions.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've been to many, but I know there's some conventions out, in the places that you used to be, that most of them I'm probably unfamiliar with, and I kind of wanted to pick your brain on some of your favorite conventions that you've been to.
One of them for sure you probably at least heard of, which is Dragon Con.
I haven't heard of that until
Really?
you mentioned it.
Wow, yeah. So Dragon
I've heard
Con,
you talk about it. But
Dragon Con is probably, I would say, the second or third biggest convention. Next to like SDCC, and maybe like PAX East.
San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, SDCC. Sorry, that's San Diego Comic-Con. Like SDCC is probably the biggest one now.
Yeah.
At this point, but Dragon Con's pretty close. You have just as big of your A-list celebrities and stuff that are there, your panels and stuff to go to. I mean and so like when I went, the last year I went was actually Stan Lee's last one.
Oh really?
Yeah, that was right before I moved up here, about a year before I moved up here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I got to see the great Stan Lee before he passed. It was pretty awesome. He was part of the Dragon Con parade, which was awesome. They have a lot of the cosplayers and stuff like that. Different like groups, like there's a group of stormtroopers. There's a group of like.
And is that in Chattanooga?
No, that's in Atlanta.
That's in Atlanta.
That's in Atlanta. Yeah, that's in Atlanta. Yeah, it's huge.
That's awesome.
Let's see, who else did I see when I was there that year? John Cusack was there that year. Jewel State, again. I've talked about her before. She's
I'm trying to think.
Kaylee from Firefly.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember you mentioning her. Yeah.
Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk, I think, were there as well that year. There was like a whole like Firefly, not the whole Firefly cast, but like a good group of them there that year. Or maybe they were there on different years, but I have seen Nathan and Alan. Huge Nathan Fillion fan, so I actually just finished rewatching Castle, and I'm back to watching The Rookie again right now. So, but yeah, I mean, what's great about conventions like that, and it's for everybody, and the reason I say that is because you can be into so many different things and find something to do there. So, like for example, there was a gaming hall with all kinds of, just like there's going to be at MGC. There's all kinds of gaming there. I know people that would go down there just to play in the Magic tournaments. Like I had friends that would just go down just to play in the Magic tournaments. If you like panels, which so a lot of the celebrity panels are really cool because they do a lot of Q&A, but they do a lot of just storytelling of from that specific shows they were on, stuff like that. I met um, I want to say a really good friend. The only time we've ever spent time in person was, we were in the same room, which we'll say, but my friend Steven, is the one I told you about that has the big firefly tattoo
Oh yeah,
on their
yeah.
thigh. I met them there. Um, so, just cool things like that. I personally am one that, I like to sit at the panels. The problem with like the really huge ones like that is like you're literally sitting in line for like an hour and a half just to hopefully get a spot, because sometimes like the room has a max capacity and the line ends up getting cut off at like a certain spot. So um, I forgot who it was. There was somebody that my ex-wife Sarah wanted to see, and we got in line, and we were like it got cut off like 20 people ahead of us. Like,
Mm.
like we didn't even get in, we sat in line for like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Oh, that sucks.
It just but it's part of it. Like, I mean, people understand. You just understand. But then the other thing that another thing that's there is like they have a lot of cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
They have like cosplay, not tournaments. It's like shows, but when they judge them and contests. That's the word, contest. They have like cosplay contests and stuff. But then, like I said, that there's like different groups of people that will like be in different fandoms, and all the cosplayers will meet, and then like I said, when they have the parade, for example, like I said, you'll see like a bunch of stormtroopers, and you'll see like a bunch of Disney princesses, and then things like that. It's really cool to see people get in the cosplay. What is Ganondorf? Oh my god, dude! This one person at Dragon Con that year had the absolute coolest Ganondorf costume.
Really?
I like to a T, perfect,
That's
beautiful,
awesome.
and you just see this big old Ganondorf walking past you, and you're just like, looked like he came straight out of the video game, bro.
Dude, I love watching cosplayers at cons. Like, I know one year at Amkey there were a bunch of guys dressed up as Spartans, Halo Spartans.
Oh yeah,
That was really cool. Like they were like marching in formation down the halls.
it'd be really cool if they had done it like Red versus Blue.
That would have been
Like
funny too.
someone's donut and
Yeah, yeah,
stuff like that.
that would have been cool too.
But yeah, man. I mean, yeah, that's the experience I had with that, and then of course we have Con Nuga, which is the one that's in Chattanooga. So that one is, I always loved it because it's right around my birthday every year, and actually one year it was Valentine's weekend, which was awesome. But it's always like the second or third weekend in February, and again, there's panels and stuff. Like there's things like there was a BDSM panel. If you're into that kind of thing, and when I go talk and listen to other people, like there was a Shibari panel where they actually taught like beginners level Shibari and stuff like that.
Speaking of that kind of thing, there's a, I'm not going to say their name, but I have a friend who's big into the kink community, and they even have conventions.
Yeah.
And I know there was one that they really like to go to down, I think, in Georgia every year. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably the one in Atlanta. I probably know which one you're talking about.
I think it was in Atlanta.
Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about. But yeah, but like for the one with Conuga too, like they have a fire cabaret show every year, and they have a burlesque show.
Yeah.
That's the after dark, and then there's the hotel parties, which, oh, man, we won't even get into some crazy stories from that.
Yeah.
There is a YouTube video out there of me dancing and a bunch of my friends saying "Go White Boy" because I'm twerking. So Fred and Ken and Eli, you guys know what I'm talking about.
I'll have to hunt that down and put it in the description of the video.
Please don't. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff that goes on at conventions that, and of course, there's vendor stuff, which is that's another thing. Like maybe you're not into, the whole social aspect of it, but maybe but there's so many cool things in fandoms that you can find at like dealer booths.
Oh yeah. Tons.
Things that are like, there's people with like complete Etsy stores that come to those things, or people who do main vending, other stuff. But like you can find so much stuff. Like for example, being a Firefly fan, my ex and I, we'd gone to Conuga, and our daughter was, not that old, and she's just a few months old, and we found a bib that said Baby Brown Coat on it, and it was like, it was awesome for us because we're both big Firefly fans, and got that for our daughter, and like,
That's adorable.
Yeah, it's just one of those memories, it was really cool. So yeah, I mean, it's really awesome because again, you can just, there's so much to do, depending upon the type of convention,
and also depending on what you like to do. I know for me there was a while where like I wasn't like super into cons. I liked going and I liked having the experience, but like I also didn't know what to do. But I will tell you this, when I went with friends, it didn't matter what we did. We just walked around and like I just followed their lead and we just had a good time. Like, and I have so many good memories from just that, even if there wasn't like specific panels I wanted to go to or specific things I wanted to go look at or buy. It was always just fun to just walk around and fuck around with my friends, at the very least.
It can be super overwhelming if you've never been to one before. Like
totally, and I think that's the reason I didn't like them as much back then.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely helps to have people to go with, and especially people who have experience in being at cons, and people that you have things in common with. Let me put it that way too, because you can go with people who are your friends. And you guys have certain things in common, but maybe they're like super big into like cosplay or the panels or something like that, and that's just not your thing. You're not going to have as much fun. Like that's just the truth. Like you're not going to have as much fun as you could possibly have. But it's better when you go with bigger groups, because what we would do too is we had tons of people that would go to Conuga together, or we would all meet up there, right? And some people would split off and go this way. Some people would split off and go this way, and then we'd all meet back for lunch or dinner later, and then we, and do different things. And so like that's what's great about it is like, I could go with like my ex-wife and I. That's the most experience I have with like a partner, like a romantic partner with my ex-wife at cons. We could both go there. She could go off with our friends doing this. I could go off with some of our other friends doing this. You know what I'm saying? And what's awesome about that then is at the end of the day, we got to go back and talk to each other about
all the cool
things that we got. Yeah, so like, if you ever get to that lull in your relationship, where it's like we never have anything to talk about, go to a con. Go to a con with some friends.
And split up.
And split up. And
go different directions.
Go do separate things. I promise, at the end of the night, you'll have so much to talk about, it'll be great.
Yeah, and, the biggest con that I've ever been to was Gen Con in 2019, the year before it all went to shit. But Gen Con was awesome and massive and crazy and so fun. And that is my most recent con experience. The only other con that I've ever been to is AMKI, Anime Milwaukee. And I only went there 2 or 3 times maybe, so I don't have a lot of con experience. But from even just those few times, I really, really enjoy it. And I always like to roam around and find stuff to do, especially when I have people to just, chill with and walk around and figure it out as we go.
Yeah, I mean that's me too. Like I mean, you know me, I'm the social butterfly. Like I love like we've talked about when I play video games, I play socially. Like I don't even like to play by myself. I don't think if I went to a con by myself, I would enjoy it at all.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even if I was like, someone was like, here, you can go do whatever you want to do, you have all the time in the world, and go to every panel and things like that. Because I do like the panels. I will say, I'm a fan of panels. And it's interesting because a lot of people are like, that just seems like such a waste of time. Like, I have a buddy who doesn't like panels at all because he's like, it's just such a waste of time. You spend 2 hours in line to go see somebody, and then you're in there for like an hour, hour and a half, whatever. You spent 3 or 4 hours of your day just waiting to listen to someone else talking. It's like, but they're talking about something I like. Like I said, when I saw Jewel State, again, I know her mainly from Firefly, but she's been in a bunch of different things. And it was just really cool, to listen to her talk, and it was really cool to listen to a perspective of someone who, was in one of my favorite shows and could give this like inside perspective of things, and then to be in a room full of other people who are also into that as well, so you're sitting there and like even if I'm sitting next to a complete stranger, we start talking about, oh, yeah, I love this scene, and
Yeah.
and whatever, and that's the thing is like that's what's great about it is you're finding these people that have all these things like in common with you and have similar interests. So, you know, yeah, I mean, I love like I said, I love the social aspect of going to a con with people.
Well, and a big part of the con experience for me too is even if it's here in town, I really like getting a room at one of the hotels
Okay.
and just staying there for the weekend. Even if I could drive there, part of the experience is like rooming with a friend or three and just chilling out in the hotel room in the morning, going down for breakfast, and then walking across the street to the Wisconsin Center
Yeah.
and fucking around there for the entire day. And then we do it in reverse and go to bed and do it again when we wake up. Like that's part of the con experience for me, right?
Well, yeah, but I'll tell you now, going back to again where the video came from that I told you about.
Yeah.
That was one of the huge experiences for me for Chattanooga every year is Saturday nights the hotel parties. So like it's where it's located is down by the Choo Choo downtown, and this one hotel like you literally have to start booking your room for Chattanooga like 3 days after the con's over. Because that's when the rooms start filling up for that next weekend.
Wow, that's wild.
Because people just always, and then people come from all across the country. People who used to live in Chattanooga, things like that, will come back. But like the hotel parties, like you're literally going room to room. Almost every room has like a bar set up. This one dude made the best spiked lemonade. This guy, I kept going back to his room. It was $3 for a cup. The cup's like your normal like solo cup. It was delicious. But man, it would get you hammered. Like it was so good.
I believe it.
But like, yeah, you go and you.
I'd love to do a hotel party because I've never.
Then you have
been
like
a part of that.
you have like the crazy people. Like so, there's like a hotel pool, and so we would all gather. Like it's on this this area downstairs. Where like I forgot what it's called, but there's like the pool outside and the hot tub, and then I forgot. It starts like a V or something. But it's like a big like garden type area, right? But it's big enough where all these people can sit and chill and talk, right?
Yeah.
And then there's crazy fuckers that like jump in the pool in February, and it's like, which granted, February down there is not nearly as cold as it is up here.
It's not February here where it's like.
But I mean, it could be. I mean, we've had freezing weather down there at that time. Like most of the time, it's probably like in the high 40s, low 50s.
I'd jump in a swimming pool.
So I mean, but the water temperature is like.
It's fine.
Oh my god,
it'll be fine. It's fine.
I remember Scorpion and Katana cosplayers jumping in the pool. That is a vivid memory from like one of the last Chattanoogas I went to. Was Scorpion and Katana hand in hand just jumped in the pool together in their costumes.
By the way, I want to say, I am in fact not drinking beer. In case anyone was wondering.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
I don't.
Not beer.
Not beer.
I just didn't want anyone to be.
I am in fact drinking rum.
Why are they drinking beer on the camera? It's not beer.
Do.
It's Sprecher soda because Sprecher.
I at least lean off the camera.
But yeah, I mean, cons are so fun. I've found so many cool things that I wanted to buy. I've bought so many cool things.
You missed the whole sponsorship. We could have got sponsored by Sprecher. Local.
If you'd like to sponsor me. I have been drinking Sprecher soda since I was 2.
Since he was knee high to a grasshopper.
And I've also been to visit their brewery like 3 or 4 times. It's awesome. I love going there.
I love their stuff.
It's a good time.
I love their stuff.
I think my favorite is the cream soda, but like Orange Dream's real good. The root beer's really good. I mean, they're all really good.
I can't do cream soda, man. It's just it's just way too sweet. It's just way too sweet. Like
I totally understand that, and I don't fault you at all for that because it is really sweet. But I also just really like sweet.
So. No, I mean I get it. Like I love their cherry cola, which is awesome. And like again, I don't do caffeine, so like a lot of their stuff is caffeine free, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think all their stuff is caffeine free, if I remember.
It's possible.
All their stuff that's in like bottles like that. I mean,
yeah.
Because they have like an actual cola that is that's caffeine free as well. But anyway.
Moving on.
What you're talking about though?
Yeah, and so like one of my first experiences with a con, I was going to Anime Milwaukee. I was in, I think my sophomore year of high school at the time, and I went down with some friends, and we pretty much spent the entire night in the gaming hall, and we were just like playing Super Smash Bros. Like that was it. We just played Super Smash Bros. In the gaming hall, and just like random people would like come up and join us sometimes, and then I got to meet a lot of cool people doing that, and walking around in between when we were like just getting up to stretch our legs or getting up to get food or whatever have you, like seeing all the cosplayers doing their thing, and it's such a unique experience. You don't really get to see anything like that anywhere else.
Oh yeah,
like I love just watching people have just watching people enjoy themselves to such an extent, and like just being so like animated and loving what they're doing, and the time and effort and like talent that goes into like cosplay, and just seeing such cool.
That's one of my favorite things.
It's a form of art. I swear.
I love, and here's one of the things that so this came up. A friend of mine. Or not a friend of mine, but a person in a group on Facebook that I'm in had posted the other day about wanting to do a cosplay of some kind, but they were afraid, they didn't have the body type for it or whatever. And I was like, what's awesome about cosplay is it doesn't matter. You can, there's gender bender cosplay. You don't even have to be the same gender as the character you're wanting to do. You don't even have to be the same race as the character you want to do. Whatever height, weight, that stuff doesn't matter. If you love it, if it's a character you love, and this was the advice that I gave them, because other people were giving them advice too. My advice was find someone that you truly have a passion for, because then it's going to be a great cosplay, no matter what. The reason why is because it's going to be someone that you love, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Do it for you. Don't do it for everybody else. Yes. I know that there's some cosplayers out there. There's like some real big ones out there that, they do it for the likes and there's some people that, get paid on their Instagram and all that stuff. I forgot what that one girl's name is, like Jessica something.
Jessica Negri.
Yeah. She's like the huge cosplayer that she does it.
And there's a ton of them. Like, I really like following Cutie Pie Sensei.
Yeah.
She's an amazing cosplayer too.
Well, we're big fans of the Command Zone.
Oh yeah.
So Lady Danger.
And
the blonde chick.
Why can't I think?
Oh my gosh, I follow her on Facebook. And I'm blanking now.
I feel bad almost. I love the both of them though.
We'll figure it out here in just a second.
Yeah, you keep looking it up.
She's the one that played the Eldrazi dag.
Yeah. Yeah, she's on the Command Zone a lot these days.
Well, she's awesome. She's part of their production crew and everything. Let me see. Hold on.
But yeah, no, I just love watching cosplays, and the thing that I really like about cosplay is that if you want to take it to like a casual level, you can. Like, I don't have the time or skill or effort needed to. I don't have the time or skill or effort to like put into like a really like detailed and really good cosplay, but I could do something simple and casual. And when I went to Gen Con, I cosplayed as a Skyrim character. The guy who's in Whiterun who's preaching to Talos, and he's just like loud and obnoxious.
Yeah.
Heimskr. Yeah, I cosplayed him. And I never did, and I kind of feel bad about it, because like part of it was like I was just anxious at the time.
Ashlyn Rose, that is
Ashlyn Rose.
Ashlyn, we're sorry. I do follow you. I follow both you and Lady and Josh and Jimmy. I follow all the Command Zone people, and I'm horrible because like
I'm just bad with names.
Yeah, but Ashlyn and Lady Danger do great cosplays as well. So
yeah, but yeah, I didn't do this because I was anxious to do it, but I've actually memorized his speech. And I was planning on proselytizing in the middle of the Gen Con hallway to Talos. And I still have the cosplay. I could still do it too, which is hilarious.
That's like the guy that went to one of the cons. I want to say it was actually a Dragon Con, and he dressed up as Uncle Ben, like from Spider-Man, and would go up to all the Spider-Man and like lay dead at their feet.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Like that. Like that. Like who who wants to be Uncle Ben, from Spider-Man? But this
when
guy,
there's gonna be so many Spider-Mans around, you can just lay dead at their feet.
Exactly.
That's what's funny.
Yeah, exactly. You get all these photo opportunities and
Yeah.
stuff. So
I one of the other things about having a more casual cosplay is like you can also like do something so casual where it's not even like an existing character necessarily, but like you're still dressing up, right? I have this dark kind of I have this dark cloth hoodie that has like a somewhat interesting like texture and like look to it, and I have this like pull up mask that I bought for COVID that is just a black and white American flag, and I have a lightsaber that I got from Saberforge back when I was like 15.
nice.
It's got a black and silver handle to it, and it's got an amber blade, and like that, just the black hoodie, pants, mask, and the lightsaber. That's a really good casual cosplay. Is just some like runaway Jedi or something.
Totally like off note thing. Did you see? There was like a guy, I want to say it was in either Japan or Korea, that made an actual retractable lightsaber.
Well, Hacksmith did it too.
Was that?
Hacksmith
sure?
Industries?
Yeah, but I think Hacksmith did it after this person did it.
No, they did the first.
Are you sure?
As far as I'm aware, and as far as they've said,
the article that I read was like, this is the first actual retractable lightsaber. So I don't know, But anyway, it was really cool. I was like, oh my gosh, it was actually like, So yeah, that's and I've seen
like as a prop or like that it actually like shoots plasma.
I don't know.
Oh, okay, because like I know there's not.
I think it's just a prop, but
okay, I know there's no props.
Speaking of that too, so we're talking about cosplays. Have you ever seen the videos too of like people at cons where they're doing like the lightsaber battles?
Yeah, I've always wanted to get into that.
Dude, like that is so fun to watch.
There's a few like organizations that are kind of like boffer LARP organizations almost, but they like specifically train in the lightsaber forms, and they like do stunts and shows and stuff like that. And I've actually considered like going and signing up for classes at some point.
And it's funny that you bring that up. So like even there's stuff at certain cons that are LARPing cons, like
oh yeah,
stuff for LARPers who do that. So for those who don't know, LARPing is live action role play. So yeah, like we haven't seen him at the shop in a while. I really miss him, but Maddox is huge into LARPing. Maddox is actually like not like Grandmaster or anything. I don't know what the hell it's called, but he's like the head of a LARPing community.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, dude, yeah, he's huge into it. And
well, I don't know if I ever told you this, but Brad and Marcus are both really big into LARP.
Oh,
they both do Vampire the Masquerade LARP and all like World of Darkness type stuff.
You didn't tell me that. Brad told me that. Yeah,
oh, okay.
Brad actually did tell me that at one point.
Yeah, they like travel around. They go to Michigan every month, and they like do stuff in Detroit. And like they're super involved in that, and I think that's
super cool. Like that's the thing about it, man. Is like with my lifestyle, I don't have time. But man, like there's so many cool things like that I wish I, did have time for to do. Because like, I think that LARPing would be super fun. I mean, I'm glad just to be able to get back in like the D&D thing, which I missed. The last session we didn't have one tonight because of Easter, being Easter Sunday.
Oh, happy Easter,
by the way. Yeah. Today we're recording Easter Sunday.
Yep.
My family's not around, and Spencer already did his thing, so we decided to record for you guys tonight. But yeah, LARPing is just like one of those cool things where it's like, I would even, what I would think would be really cool, and I'm pretty sure it's probably out there if we go and on the interwebs and search deep enough, but like I would like to watch some recorded LARPing like that. It would probably be really cool too. But I mean, I would want it to be like with someone that I know,
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? Just so I can see how they do it. But like, I don't think I could like get into just some random people LARPing, because it would just be like, oh yeah, I mean that's whatever. I mean, that's basically what watching a TV show is,
I've you say that, but like I also thought the same thing about playing D&D until I started watching Critical Role.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you. That's fair. That's fair. I don't know. It's just my personal taste. But
I'd love to at least like try watching it.
Like it'd be cool. Like
actually,
if we could watch Brad and Marcus, doing their thing. Like,
well, I mean, you could always join them sometime.
well, that's what I'm saying. I don't have time. Like, I wish.
That's true. Fair. Yeah, their things are Friday nights.
You want to go work at the shop for me one day? Then I'll go follow them. But
I did LARP with them for a time, but that particular organization wasn't really my thing. So
yeah.
I'm not super into the horror genre, and that's pretty much all of what World of Darkness is. So I stopped for that reason. But I'm really glad that they have that outlet for themselves.
For sure. But yeah, getting back on track.
Back to conventions.
Back to conventions. So, we talked about some that we've gone to. I'm about to fall out of the chair. This chair, guys. Don't worry. We're going to upgrade the studio soon. We'll have new chairs and new background and stuff.
Well, this one's still in good shape.
That one's fine, but... so let's talk about MGC coming up. So, we me and Dan had the special podcast a couple weeks ago. We talked, in pretty good length about, at least a lot of what we're doing there, which of course we're such a small aspect of the con though.
Yeah.
Like I love it. Like I said before, and I'll repeat the same words. Like I'm flattered and humbled by anybody who chooses to come and play Magic while they're there at the con because you're using up time that you could be doing other things to be doing something with us, and we appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
But what's cool about MGC and so my experience with it so far. Of course, I haven't been to the big one yet. This is our big one, right? So, I did do the pop up. It was called Game Night, that we did at the Sheraton. I think it was the Sheraton in Brookfield. It was where the original MGC had been held, and they still had at least probably 20 something pinball machines. They had a bunch of they had like 5 different tables of retro video game setups. And when I say tables, there's like 4 or 5 screens on each table with a system hooked to each one. So, I mean, I'm talking about, and there was like old school Super NES, old school Sega Genesis. Like we were playing like old school Mario Kart and old school Smash and things like that with people there. And I got to play with some great people. There was like an old NHL hockey game. It was like, on Sega Genesis that I played a game of that was like, it was just so cool. And then they had cabinets, so cabinets are your old school, what you think of like arcade games.
Yeah.
So, they had the old Simpsons cabinet there.
Oh, wow.
The Simpsons game.
Yeah.
They had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one. They had a couple other ones. And then they had some really old school cool games like what's the one with the bubbles? There's like a little dragon dude. He shoots bubbles out of his mouth. It may be too old for you. You may not remember. It's an old school game, but
doesn't ring a bell for me.
Anyway, like they had all kinds of games like that, and then they had skee ball, which
I love skee ball.
I talked about with Dan.
I love me some skee ball, dude.
So I talked about it with Dan on the episode. I don't know if you saw it, but so they did a competition where you had to do alternating hands. You could start with whatever hand you want, but your first shot is one hand, your second shot's the other hand, and you throw all your balls alternating hands. And I had the high score all night, okay, until like 10 minutes before they stopped doing it, and I was busy running a Magic tournament, okay.
So and you couldn't come challenge.
And then Jamie Phillip, who is part of the board game association here, I keep forgetting their name, but they'll be there as well. We talked about it in the episode, so you can look back at the MGC episode. But Jamie, which I met that night, him and his wife, Verica, are super awesome people, super sweet, amazing people. I'm actually really excited to see them again, because I missed the last one. I'm really excited to see them and hang out with them for a little while. But anyway, Jamie ends up beating my score by like 10 points. Right at the very end.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
And gets the championship. But I did get the boxing glove basketball. So you had to shoot on the little basketball arcade, with boxing gloves on. Now, that was easy for me. I tried the boxing glove skee ball one and almost broke the machine. because you're trying to hold it, with this boxing glove grip, right? And trying to roll it. And the very first one, I threw and hit the top of the machine, like above the cage, like where the scoreboard is. I hit up there with my very first ball, and I was like, "Well, that didn't work."
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Needless to say, I did not win that one. But yeah, that's what's really cool. Is like there's so many cool things to do there. They're gonna have those types of competitions and stuff, especially at the after party.
I'm really excited to go. This is gonna be my first.
So you got your MVG, right?
Yeah, I got the very, very important gamer.
Or VIG, sorry, VIG is what it's called. Yeah, the very important gamer pass, right? So yeah, you'll get
most valuable gamer would be would be funny too.
Most valuable gamer.
Maybe that award should be handed out to the person who wins the most competitions.
That'd be pretty cool.
MVG.
Yeah, I'll come challenge. You can't see it over here.
You got it.
I'll just put it off screen. I'll just do this one. Anyway, but yeah, so MGC is going to be great because it's a gaming con. I'm pretty sure they still do a cosplay thing because I think they had a cosplay thing that night. And then Dan talked about in the episode, there's an after party on Saturday where Kung Lao, I think was what his name was. Yeah, Kung Lao. Yeah, from the original Mortal Kombat movie, the guy who actually played it, he started a band, and they rock. They have some great music.
All right.
And they'll be playing again. They were playing at the game night one that we did. Yeah, so that's super awesome. We've got a bunch of people. Our Dan has a bunch of people flying in that are experts in so many different fields when it comes to gaming. I'm still working on. I know it's short notice. I don't know if Dan worked it out, but I'm hoping that J-Bro is going to be there to talk about magic stuff. So that would be sweet.
Mm-hmm.
J-Bro is Jonathan Brostoff. He is a local alderman here in Milwaukee, but he's also the number one cube trophy winner most of the time on MTGO. For almost every cube that comes out, he's at least top 5 every time, and he's almost always the top trophy winner. He's amazing when it comes to cube drafting. He is just like a savant. But yeah, he's awesome, and I'd love to see him be there and have a panel, and then moving forward, hopefully in the future, things like if we keep doing this podcast, which I'm hoping we're going to do, and hopefully you guys still love it, maybe Spencer and I will be there next year, do a panel on podcasting.
I would love to do something like that with you, and I'm really excited to go. And just so everyone knows, I'm actually going to be manning the station at the Slypatch area for a little bit, so you'll be able to see me around there. When I'm not managing it, I'll probably be playing some of the time too. But there's a lot of those retro games that I've never even seen in person. I've never seen a Sega Genesis. I've never seen one.
Wow.
I don't know if I've ever even seen a picture of a Sega Genesis. And I'm really excited to go look at all these games, try a bunch of them. I love arcade games. I love classic arcade games. I love skee-ball and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to just play the whole damn field. I'm stoked. I'm stoked as fuck.
Yeah, it's going to be super awesome. There's so much to do there. That's the thing about it is, if you can't find something to do there, it's because you don't like the game. Literally. If you don't like games, it's not for you. That's the truth. But
that's probably pretty fair.
But if you like games,
if you're here, you probably at least like Magic. So come spend all of your time with us.
There you go. You can come play Magic with us. But it's all kinds of gaming. In the same room with us, we will have Imperial, which is another game store here locally. We'll be doing a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, I believe. And then Falklandia, who helped us out last year, that's Quinn and those guys. They'll be doing the tabletop stuff. So I think 40K, that kind of stuff, and we're gonna all be in that same area.
Do you know if there's gonna be any D&D one shots?
I don't know for sure, but I would not be surprised. Or I would be more surprised if they didn't than if they did.
Good to know.
Yeah, so bring your dice, guys, and girls, and others.
I've always got my dice.
Yeah, bring your dice with you. But yeah, I mean, there's just so much to do there.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're super excited. So for those who maybe didn't see the MGC episode, I'll go ahead and tell you about our scheduling there. So Friday night, which is technically a preview night, so all the vendors won't be there on Friday night. It's a preview night for people to go check out the gaming halls and check out all the games and stuff. We will actually be running a draft of Streets of New Capenna because it is the release weekend. So we will be having a draft, and it's triple the prize support of what you normally see in a draft. So most of your drafts around here is pack per win. We're doing three packs per win. Mm-hmm. So and the entry to the draft is included with your fee into the event. So that's actually a free event for you guys. On Saturday, we're going to be doing our at 11 a.m. It's going to be our it's called Rags or Riches tournament. So you can either play in the Rags event, which is the popper. That's going to have a place of Lotus Petals for first place, which those things are like $15-20 right now. And then the Riches tournament is the Legacy event, and the first place event, or the first place prize for that event is going to be a Force of Will, now Alliance's Force of Will. Now, that's for just if we get, the minimum to start the tournament, which is 8 people. For all the players, like, beyond that, we add prize support. And again, both of those events are free with your entry as well. Then our main event for the weekend is our Commander tournament. That's going to be at 2 p.m. on Saturday, and either 2 or 3. I don't think it's 2, though. I'm pretty sure it's 2. That has first prize is a Wheel of Fortune.
Ooh.
So for those who play Commander, you guys know how good that card is. And then we will have on Sunday we'll have another Commander event. It's going to be a little different than your normal Commander events. Like the one for the Wheel of Fortune is going to be like your normal pods. Whoever wins. They go on. They win the pod. They win the prize. Whatever. On Sunday's event, we're going to do like a point system type thing. Kind of like almost like a voting type thing as well, where it's like you can't vote for yourself. You can only vote for someone else in the pod, and it's going to be things like based on like who helped you have the most fun, those types of things, who had the coolest play, that kind of thing.
I've got to ask, for the Commander tournament, is it intended to be like anything goes, or is it like specifically on the casual side?
I will tell you right now, it will be CDH.
Okay.
It will be very competitive. We had 34 people in November for it, and it was very competitive. Like it's
okay.
The main one is.
I just thought it would be nice to let people know that.
Yeah, but that's why the Sunday event is what it is, because it is trying to be a more casual event for people. The first place prize for that is a box of Commander Legends, so you have the chance to get your Jeweled Lotus or your Mana Drain or Vampiric Tutor, stuff like that. But it is going to, like, that's why we're doing the 2 separate ones, because we want people to have a more casual event that they can play their more fun deck, their Pillow Forts and their, crazy takes 10 cards to combo as opposed to, 2 card combos and stuff like that. So yeah, so Sunday's event is geared way more towards the casual. Now we will also have, pay to play events, like on demand events throughout the weekend as well. So we get 8 people that want to draft, we'll throw a draft together. We get 4 people that want to sit down in a Commander pod, we'll throw a Commander event together for you guys, just like we do on Friday nights.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're also trying to have some wristbands for you guys, to where you can have, it's going to be a separate looking wristband from the wristband you'll have for the MGC, to where you can be walking around the hall and say, oh, you have like a lightning bolt wristband on. That means that you want to play, what we call our lightning events, which is going to be one-on-one events. It's best of 1. You go, you sit down and play. You both pay, and winner takes the prize. That kind of thing. So we'll have those quick events for you where you can just sit down and play a quick game or whatever, or a casual game. 1v1 versus somebody, and that kind of thing. So yeah, going to be a whole big lineup of stuff for you guys.
It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. And I think that's going to wrap up our campaign, our meat and potatoes. I think we're a little full now.
Whew.
But don't worry.
I don't know. You say you're never satisfied.
There's going to be plenty of dinner next week, okay?
There is.
There's going to be plenty of meat and potatoes next week. let's move into this week's mains. All of the fun nerd news going on in the world. I'm super excited about the trailer that just dropped for Stranger Things Season 4.
Yeah,
It looks a little bit like it's going to be the end of the show, but man, am I excited! It looks wild. It looks fucking wild.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So he just showed it to me, and yeah, I mean it looks amazing.
You need to catch up first.
I do need to catch up. So like I told him, I watched season 1 and 2. I was really super hyped about it. Season 3 came out with everything that was going on in my life. It kind of went on the back burner. I didn't think about it,
And you've since forgotten.
Like, I mean, I've just had everything else going on. So then now I saw this trailer though, and I'm like, okay, that's hype.
Gotta catch up before the new season drops.
I got a month. I'm good.
You'll
I got
be fine.
A little over a month. I'll be okay. Yeah. But yeah,
I'm super excited about it. It looks really cool. A lot of people have been comparing the big bad at the end of the trailer to Vecna from D&D, which is really exciting, and there's a lot of cool little things that they show.
Which I love that because of how the whole thing started, right? Like,
yeah,
the whole thing started with the kids down in the basement playing D&D.
Yeah.
So
and them relating all of the different monsters they find.
Yeah, you had the Demigorgon, and then
you had the Mind Flayer.
The Mind Flayer, yep.
Yeah, it looks so cool. I'm super excited, and I just can't wait.
Speaking of the Mind Flayer, it's awesome because, again, Smite, I talk about it a lot because I play it with my buddy Nick. Couldn't miss that mention. But there's a character in the game named Sylvanas that rides on Grover, which is this tree. But they made one of the skins for that character as the Mind Flayer from, because they had a Stranger Things crossover.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah. So like
that's really cool.
There's a goddess named Scylla. That's who 11 is in there, and then Apollo is the sheriff guy, whatever his name is. I can't remember his name. Hopper, and then they made Sylvanas as the Mind Flayer.
That's really cool.
It is, but it's also like really weird because Sylvanas has like one of his abilities is he throws out a flower that helps give mana and stuff like that, but it also can root somebody. And then another one of his abilities is a heal where he sprouts off these like pollen sprouts normally, right? Well, in the Mind Flayer, it throws this like face hugger looking thing on you.
It's an intellect devourer.
Yeah. And it's just like you're like, hey, wait, this is healing me? It seems like it's supposed to do something completely different. So
that's still funny though. I love that. And what's your main this week, Tyler?
So my main this week, and it's something I want you guys' opinion on. If you want an episode on it, because I'd love to talk about it personally. But I have a newfound love. I've talked about it a couple times before, but I have a newfound love for playing poker again. It's something I did a lot in my early 20s. I was part of that whole Chris Moneymaker fad. Like it happened like right after I got out of high school, and I got big into playing poker. Chris Moneymaker won. I think it was the 2003 or 2005. It was one of the early 2000s. He won the World Series of Poker main event. Mm-hmm. And what was big about that was that he was not one of your well-known like professional poker players. Like most people who would win prior to that event were people who were like professional poker players, live in Vegas, they play all the time, stuff like that. He was an online qualifier. He played like in a $20 online event to qualify for the World Series, which the World Series main event is it's a $10,000 buy-in.
Wow.
Okay, and so at the time, he won I want to say maybe $3 or $4 million. I can't remember what the main prize was that year, but it made all these like just casual people at home want to play poker because they thought they had a shot. And the fact that they put it on, it was on ESPN, so it was like had a huge audience to see it, and so it made poker super popular back in the day.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
yeah, back in the day when I was 4.
Yeah, exactly. Well, see, like I got into poker way before that because my uncles would play penny poker.
Oh, okay.
I remember like all the time going over my Aunt Debbie's house, Uncle Smitty, and Uncle Smitty always had this like tin can, this big tin can like with a lid on it, and it was full of pennies. And I never understood why until finally one day they let me, come down and join. Now, they didn't just play Hold'em though, they played everything. They played like Stud and Raz and all this other they played all kinds of stuff, right? I started learning how to play poker, and I loved it because my mind is very mathematical. Like I love math. I can sit here and calculate things on a whim. Like I love it. And the great thing about it is it's a 52 card deck. The percentages of knowing what the cards are is super easy to figure out. Like if at least for me. So the odds are easier for me, and so I do really well. We have some local casinos and stuff here, and I've gone and made money and stuff like that. But what I'd really like to do, is I'd honestly like to start like a poker league at the store. Something where it's like, it's not illegal or illegal gambling or anything. It's like, we'll have, some buy-ins for it and stuff like that, but it'll equal up to like you'll have a tournament champion at the end that, maybe get some store credit or something like that. But, I'd love to get, people into the game because I love the game, myself. And that's the thing is like, I don't care if I'm playing for thousands of dollars or playing for pennies. I just love the game, That's how I look at it.
I've always, like, when I was younger, my family, we would always, every summer, we took a trip out to the other side of Lake Michigan to a little town called Union Pier, just north of New Buffalo, and we'd rent these cottages that are right on the lake, and every year we'd get together and we would play poker with, like, a set that had, like, poker chips and everything. And so I played a little bit when I was younger, and then we stopped doing it maybe by the time I was 12. And that's the last time I really played any poker. But I did always have fun. I don't remember ever being like good at it, but I always remembered at least having fun and liking it. So I would love to like learn how to play poker again and get into it a little bit. I'm not a big fan of like gambling personally. Like I'm not big on like spending money on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if it's like $10 or whatever, like that's not really a problem for me. So I would love to get back into it at some point. And I don't know what the rules on like gambling as far as like laws go. But yeah, I mean, if you started a poker league at Slypatch, I'd try it.
No, I mean I've already looked into legalities and everything like that. Like for what I'm looking to do for it. Like so like the thing that would make it illegal is like if the house was taking a rake, which would the house would be us.
Oh, okay.
And, that kind of thing. We're not. That's not what I'm trying to do. It would be something like it'd be just like our Friday night. So it'd be like a $5 buy-in for a tournament.
Yeah.
And then like I said, it's like a league. So you got to play more than just the one night. But you'll have people who win, and you get points based on where you place and stuff like that. And then you'd have a tournament at the end of the league where your starting chip stack would be based off of how you placed throughout the league.
Okay.
So like if you won a couple of times, you're going to have a better starting chip stack than somebody else. And then we'd have a tournament, and then the winner of that tournament would get like some store credit or something like that. That kind of thing. So
gotcha.
Yeah,
right.
it'd be just a fun thing to to have people sit and play and learn the game.
Yeah, I'm sure you could get some people to try it.
My first memory of it, again going back to the penny poker thing, was I was 9 years old. I remember this so vividly when they first told me about what they were doing, because we were over at Aunt Debbie's house and she had a basement, and my uncles and my stepdad. He wasn't my stepdad at the time, or maybe he had just become my stepdad, or my mom and him were still dating. I don't remember, but anyway, they all went down to play, and I was like, where Uncle Lee and Uncle Smitty go? And they're like, downstairs. So I went downstairs, and it's just the three of them sitting there playing, like I said, with their pennies, and I was like, I want to play, and I had $1 from like some allowance or something like that. I had $1 on me, so I bought $1 worth of pennies from my uncle, and at the end of it, I had $10. 9 years old playing against him because I sat there and quickly figured out the math and what was going on.
It's funny.
So I made I made 10 times my money my very first time playing poker, and that was like my big memory of like what got me into it. Um,
Beware the gateway drug, kids.
I'm just saying, I basically took that whole 10 from my uncle,
That's
Uncle
how
Smitty, and he was
That's
just
how they
like,
hooked you.
yeah, it was fun though.
That's good. That's good.
But yeah, it's a game that I like because of the math, and while it is, while there is some luck involved, obviously, you know, there's a lot of skill involved. Like I said, in figuring out the odds, and like my biggest thing that is my I don't know, special ability, whatever you want to call it, is my ability to read people. You know, to call your bluff or call your bullshit. You know, to tell whether you're, you actually have a strong hand or you're full of crap. So that's what helps me a lot. So.
Got you. Well, I think that's about gonna wrap up today's episode. Going into the cool down here. We always like to see you guys here. We always like to get that community interaction. And don't forget, let us know what cons you want to go to. I know there's a whole list of cons that I want to go to.
Cons you've been to. Like, we'd love to hear about your experiences in the comments.
Yeah, cons that you recommend to us to go to, and tell us your favorite parts about it. Tell us, like, if you're a cosplayer and you're going to do something, like, let me know. I want to come check it out. I want to see all your hard work and stuff.
Especially if you're gonna be at MGC, let us know because we want to see you.
Yeah, I want to hang out with you guys. I want to play games there with everyone and just get to see people.
Yeah, if you see this episode and you like it and leave us a comment and you're gonna be at the MGC, I will give you a free pack of Streets of New Capenna.
Does that mean I get a free pack of Streets of New Capenna?
Maybe.
Because I'll like it and comment.
Yeah, Spencer. If you like and comment it, you can have a free pack of Streets of New Capenna.
Awesome. We love you guys. As always, make sure to like the comment, video, the share,
the stuff. ring the like and like the bell.
Like the video. Put a comment down there for the algorithm. Appease the algorithm gods, as it were. Yep. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so that you guys always know when we post a new episode. And be sure to tune in at some point this week. Probably put it up on maybe Wednesday or Thursday. We're going to have a set review. And make sure to hit us back next Monday for next week's episode. And we love you. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. You guys have a good night. See ya.